Welcome back, True Seeker. Very quickly, I'm going to move through this post on my website that you're welcome to read. It's at GematriaEffectNews. We'll live stream about this tomorrow. But to make things quick, they're saying Elon Musk's net worth fell $34 billion today on the day that he has this fallout with Donald Trump, June 5th, 2025, the anniversary of Ronald Reagan's passing 21 years ago. And of course, Ronald Reagan was a Hollywood actor like Trump who also ran on Mega, who also promised to reduce government only to make it way bigger than it had ever been before. Exactly what Donald Trump is doing with his big, beautiful bill, which is the source of the fallout with he and Elon Musk, according to the political theater. But in light of the net worth falling $34 billion, we've been seeing a lot of that number, haven't we? 34% tariffs, 34 felony charges. Today, a big storyline in the NBA was that Paul George, who played for the Pacers and the Thunder, how he was connected to today's finals, and it was 34 days after his birthday, and Indiana won another 34 when you know Gematria. Again, it really is all scripted together. We've talked about this so many times, sports and politics. But anyway, just to say, focus on the politics. Again, $34 billion on the day that Elon Musk says Trump will be revealed in the Epstein files. And I don't know why that would surprise anybody. They're friends. Trump's a total creeper. Anyone can look up the footage from years ago. Entertainment Tonight showed it. Trump telling a 10-year-old girl that he'll be dating her in 10 years. It's a really weird thing for a grown man in his 40s. Trump was in his 40s when he said it, to say to a 10-year-old girl, essentially saying in 10 years, I'm going to have sexual relations with you. And that man is the puppet president right now, and a lot of people support him. Not to mention he's alluded to the fact that he'd like to have sex with his own daughter. But anyway, I don't know, again, why anyone would be surprised that he was in the Epstein files. But yeah, remember, Epstein equals 34, like the SUICIDE word, also like murder. And don't forget, from Epstein being found guilty on July 8th to his body being found reportedly in the cell on August 10th was 34 days later. We covered that in great detail at the time. But yeah, Donald Trump, 34 felony charges. And by the way, if you're new to this thing of letters and numbers, it's very simple. It's based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. You learn it, you'll never look at news the same again. Again, 34 felony charges for the hush money. Hush money 34, like Stormy, like April, like Passover. Remember, that was during the time of Passover. Trump compared himself to Jesus on the cross. Jewish equals 34, like Jesus was from Judea. Jesus and cross equal 34, like Twitter. It was still Twitter then. Musk hadn't taken over in the Jesuit ritual for the 2 Jesuit puppets yet. But yeah, anyway, the point is 34 is big, and you might have forgotten that Trump showed up in court right after they filmed the latest Joker scene there, and then he showed up on what would have been Heath Ledger's 44th birthday on 4/4 and pleaded not guilty. Keep in mind, Trump was the 44th person to be president because Grover Cleveland had the split term, messing up the count. Just like Joe Biden, he was number 46, but the 45th person and so on. Yeah, again, just the 34% tariffs. Another big thing going on. You know what I should have put up here? Ukraine. Ukraine's also 34 in Gematria. Another huge ritual on the world stage. Ukraine in 34. Tariffs in 34. Interest rates in 34. I mean, there's just 34 everywhere right now. But did you see also that not only did Musk's net worth fall $34 billion, but the company fell $153 billion in value today on Trump threatening to cut off the federal subsidies to Musk's projects from Tesla to SpaceX and beyond. Again, if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language: the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology. It's totally elementary. You could teach this to a second grader. If you need help with it, I've made my ebooks free to download to give you a more thorough understanding of why they do this. Long story short, it's Kabbalah, just like how Trump keeps the Kabbalah plaque on his wall. But anyway, Musk offered $54 per share on the anniversary of Lincoln's shooting, April 14th, 14/4. And then today on his platform that he bought, it's shots fired. And they're calling this a civil war within Mega. And again, I mean, just Lincoln, the Civil War president, was shot on April 14th. That's when, again, Musk made the $54 a share offer. And keep in mind, Lincoln did blame the American Civil War on the Jesuits. Trump's Jesuit educated. But yeah, run the alphabetical order in reverse. Jesuit orders 153. And yeah, like I've always said, these people are Jesuit puppets. Jesuit equals 78, like Tesla. Elon Musk declared the world's richest man for the first time January 7th, 2021, the 78th death anniversary of Nikola Tesla. Then he joins forces with Trump while Trump's 78 years old. And again, in history, Trump's uncle, who worked for the FBI, did the audit of Tesla and his papers when he died. But yeah, Trump also threatened to cut off funds not only for Tesla, but SpaceX. Today is 23 days before Musk's birthday. SpaceX is 23 like Donald, and as we'll get to, J.D. Vance is also 23 because Musk said he wants Trump impeached and J.D. Vance installed. But yeah, there's major parallels to Reagan here, who said he was going to reduce government to something so small you could strangle it in the bathtub, and he made it way bigger than any president ever had. Again, Ronald Reagan died on this day in history 21 years ago. The word Jesuit in the small way is also 21. But Ronald Reagan, 56, like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. Today's date numerology is 56. It can be written 5/6. Again, Black Lives Matter equals 56. That was painted on Church Street 5 years ago in 2020 after the George Floyd Jesuit psyop. Church Street's also 16th Street, like how the Jesuits were created in the 16th century. These headlines about Civil War. Notice how Civil War is 97. That's the 25th prime. Here we are in 2025, not to mention Trump equals 25. Civil War is also 43, like Elon Musk. 119, like this is the 119th Congress. And 56, like the date. Like how Lincoln, the Civil War president, died at 56 in a theater. And here's the latest political theater. Elon Musk said Trump will be named in the Epstein files and it'll be a really big bomb, which equals 60, like Donald Trump, like how his ex-wife fell down the stairs and died exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit ignatian year on July 14, 2022, the same day Trump came out and said he'd run in the upcoming election, which was the 60th, which we told you 4 years in advance why he would come back and win it. The script was that easy to tell. He had his convention in 2016 in Cleveland. Grover Cleveland was the only split-term president prior. Notice Epstein files is also 139 and 58 like Freemasonry, as well as 185 and 68 like Donald John Trump. Remember, Epstein died, well, so we were told, 58 days after Trump's birthday, and on Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the temples, when Solomon's temple, Herod's temple, and Third temple all equal 58, going with Trump winning the 58th election and then having his face put on the temple coin in Israel to raise money for the eventual building of the Third temple. And in light of Musk saying, bring J.D. Vance, or replace Trump with J.D. Vance, notice J.D. Vance has the 40, J.D. has the 40. Ronald Reagan was number 40. Ronald Reagan reelected 40 years ago. Again, J.D. Vance, 23 days before Musk's birthday. From J.D. Vance's August 2nd birthday to this rich old day is 307 days. That's the 63rd prime. It's a reminder of what happened to JFK in 63. It's a reminder of what Dan Bongino just said about Epstein on JFK's birthday anniversary, May 29th. It's also a reminder that last year on July 13th, Trump went through the major hoax that duped a lot of morons. And then a couple days later, J.D. Vance was picked in Milwaukee, which is where Teddy Roosevelt was shot. And J.D. Vance was the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt. J.D. Vance, the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt became president when McKinley was shot, the 25th president. And one of the first things Trump did in 2025 was renamed Mount Denali back to Mount McKinley. Keep in mind, the championships going on right now in sports have a lot to do with JFK again, just like they did last year. This year, the Stanley Cup Finals was set on JFK's birthday anniversary, and one of two ways 63 is going to get paid tribute to. Either the Oilers are becoming 6-3 in the Stanley Cup, like they won the game on JFK's birthday anniversary 6-3, or the Panthers will get their 63rd win of the season, and the Panthers play next to Parkland, Florida, like how JFK died at Parkland Hospital, and that's also why they had the Parkland Hospital, or not Parkland, but the Parkland shooting near where the Panthers play on 214, like Dallas is the 214 area code. Anyway, the Trump hoax last year was on the 13th day of the 7th month, like 137. Today, this feud comes on the 137th day of the administration. Of course, Washington, D.C., government, White House, they all have that 137 connection, which is the 33rd prime. like Masonry, Secrecy, Order, Federal, even names like Kennedy all equal 33. Drumpf also equals 33, the German name for Trump's family, what they had when they first came to the States. And in light of Musk calling for the impeachment of Trump, remember that his 2 impeachments in his first term were exactly 56 weeks apart on the nose. Exactly 56 weeks. The first was December 18th, 2019. And then the next was January 13th, 2021, right before he left the White House. 56 weeks apart. And just to take you back to some of those headlines that were going on back then, Senate votes 56-44 to proceed with Trump impeachment. 56% of Americans say Trump should be convicted ahead. Biden to ask 56 Trump-appointed U.S. attorneys to resign. Of course, the whole Trump administration was defined by the number 56. There were about a bazillion 56 rituals, including the whole scamdemic, Black Lives Matter, et cetera, et cetera. Again, it's a powerful number to these people. And then when Trump was acquitted after the impeachment, they did that on the 56 date numerology. Not by accident. So acquitted again was the headline. And by the way, just this battle of in the time of number 47, just look how the old name Twitter's 47, just like Truth Social. Go back and look up the old headline of Trump remaining silent on Truth Social for 47 days. That happened many years before he became number 47. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty. And we'll live stream about this. And again, I'm annoyed as a YouTuber who's been here for 12 years, putting down nothing but hard-hitting information that should have changed the world by now. And instead of getting the views, who's getting the views? BPD, multi-level scam marketing scammer who ripped off a lot of poor people, who has a long history of just being a scammer and liar. That's what people are tuned in tonight. A panel of morons and scammers. It makes me sick, man. This is the video that should get a gazillion views. Asmongold TV, just a retard video game player. Doesn't know shit about shit. All these people that are getting the views, it drives me nuts. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Meanwhile, the morons can't see the obvious. So anyway, we'll leave it there for now, and until next time.